Hello, everybody. I hope you all had a wonderful Christmas. Just wanted to do a video for you all today because the weather here has just been unusually spring-like today. This is the day after Christmas. I remember this time last year we had a foot of snow on the ground. So this is just so completely opposite what we had last year. So I just wanted to go ahead and get a blooms tour in, show you some spikes that are growing, showing you some really cool things that are going on in my collection today. As you all see, Big Red is still showing off lots of buds left on this plant. This beautiful Thanksgiving cactus, it will be in bloom for probably the next 2 months. So love to share this with you all while he's blooming. And look who is blooming now, my beautiful Dendrobium. It's a NOID, but I nicknamed him Wilson. And this is the 4th year that he's bloomed for me. He is 5 feet tall. He takes up this entire corner here in my sunroom. And I love it when he's in bloom because the blooms on this one, they glow. But like I said, his canes are about 5 feet tall, gigantic dendrobium. And behind Wilson is my Burana Jade Fantasy number 9. I love the blooms on this one. This is actually the 2nd spike in about the past 4 months. This one is starting to spike much more often. I'm getting more canes on this plant. It actually has a gigantic kiki on it that I have no idea if I'm ever going to be able to remove. Let me just kind of scan down. As you see, I have to kind of rope these things to the windows. Where is the kiki? Aha, right back here. Do you see all those roots? That huge kiki formed, and I can't get it off of that cane. So I guess that kiki's going to stay there in the corner of the sunroom, but it's getting ready to bloom. And here is Dendrobium Solea Chompu. This is a miniature plant size, I should say. These blooms are just as large as the regular sized dendrobiums that I have. It's almost funny. The blooms are huge on this tiny little plant. Oh, oops, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to disturb that. Kind of tripped over my tripod here. I've got my shoelace stuck. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry about that. But this is the size of the foliage here. It's just so cute. And those huge blooms. So you got to love this little plant. It's what I call an overachiever. And look who's blooming. This is the first bloom on my Phal Legato. I've really been thinking about Phal Legato and how I ID'd her. She did not come with an ID. So I'm thinking that this is actually a no ID Phal. I have seen other pictures of Phal Legato, and quite frankly, they're just not the same. This one is peloric. As you see, it's just absolutely beautiful. This one has more color to it than the actual Phal Legato that I've seen the picture of. Let me give you a super close-up of this one. Okay, the pictures I've seen of Phal Legato are more of a brown color than this. There is no brown in this bloom. It's actually like a kaleidoscope of pink. The lip is kind of a cafe latte type of a color. But as you see, this is more pink than Phal Legato is. So I'm going to start calling her No ID. Of course, I really do like the name Phal Legato, but you see, she's not Phal Legato. So I don't know what to call her. What do you all think? No ID or Legato? Legato means smooth. And yes, that kind of does describe the bloom. But every time she comes in bloom, I want to make sure that I share her with you all because she's just spectacular. She's got this huge spike of blooms that she's working on. Let me show you that. Okay, here we go. All of this. Yes, what an amazing spike. And then she's got the secondary spike with these two buds right here, plus the bloom that I just showed you. So this is going to be a marvelous bloom cycle. I am so excited. And here is my Phal Magic Art. Well, just have about 2 more buds on this one to bloom out. Very interesting thing that's happened with this one. I think that I gave it seaweed extract too late into its bloom cycle. I believe that I probably gave it some seaweed extract after the buds set on it, which, you know, seaweed extract, it's an awesome source of potassium, but it also acts as a growth hormone. And so if you give it to them too late in their bud cycle, you know, when they're setting buds, let me show you what happened, because I think I overdid it. Well, maybe not overdid it, but I think I gave it too much seaweed extract for too long. The buds had already set and I think I continued. So let me show you what happened. These interesting looking blooms. Do you see how there's no there's not even the same coloration as on these blooms. This is a very deep purple. This one is also like half magic art, half this interesting purple bloom. It's got ruffles on the edge. I just noticed that. Oh my goodness, how interesting. So I need to be careful. Next year, when these buds set, I need to stop the seaweed extract. I believe that's what caused that. But it's interesting and unusual anyway. And check out this spike on Phal Pirate King. It's about 4 feet tall. That's the plant. Absolutely enormous. It has 15 leaves. Now that is a healthy, healthy phal. Look at all that branching. Wow. That is going to be a beautiful bloom cycle on that plant. And let me show you what Santa brought me this year. I have been considering using this back part of my sunroom to grow some more plants. I haven't quite decided what I'm going to do with this shelf yet. I'd actually like to use it on the opposite end of the room where my dendrobiums are, because I could actually tie the canes and the spikes up to the side of this shelf. I'm thinking about that. I could also put it the other way, like kind of long ways up in front of that door, and create a green wall with some vining plants. I really like that look, and I could see it from the inside of my house. That would be a good thing. I've been trying to decide what to do with that part of the sunroom, because I've just not gotten to that part of it yet. So right now I'm just thinking about putting my Thanksgiving cacti that have come out of bloom on it, but I'm thinking about a green wall. I could put lights on it and grow African violets over there. Oh, let me show you some of my African violets, because one of them especially is in beautiful bloom. You have to see Frozen in Time. This African violet blooms all the time. It's just in constant bloom. And I was looking at it the other day, and I realized that this is actually 2 plants. For the lack of a better term, it just divided itself. Here is plant 1. This is the front part of it. And then this is a completely different crown on this side of the plant. This is the reason why that looks so beautiful and full. I'm going to leave it the way it is. It's grown like this for 2 years. Actually, it just divided itself recently. Maybe it just got so big, it just decided, okay, I'm going to divide myself in 2. But The blooms on this one are charming. There is a purple tinge to these blooms. Let me see if I can focus in on one of them for you. It is so hard to focus in on a white bloom and show like the nuance of color in a bloom. But there in the very center of the screen, do you see that purple around the center? That's the blush color of that bloom, and it's just gorgeous. The leaves of this one too, the variegated leaves, the roughly leaves, they're just so pretty. And you all remember back in September, Patrick sent me African violets, and it was one big clump of African violets that one leaf had grown. And he said, it is possible that you've got 10 plants there. So I separated them out very carefully. Remember, it just looked like an African violet mound. I have 10 of these African violets from that one leaf that he propagated. These two are blooming size. I expect they're going to be blooming in the spring, but look at the size of these plants, and that one leaf produced 10 babies. Now that is honorable mention right there. That is a hard-working plant. And I am about to run out of sunlight for this video, so I wanted to tell you all, thank you so much for going through my lost videos with me through the Opryland Hotel. I found them when I was trying to clear out some storage on my camera, and I thought, oh goodness, I need to share these. So that was a lot of fun for me. I hope you all were able to just take a little mini vacation along with me throughout the Opryland Hotel. And before we go, I'd love to say the blessing over you and your families. May the Lord bless you and keep you. Make His face shine upon you and be gracious to you. May the Lord turn His face towards you and give you and your families His shalom peace. You all make it a great day, and we'll see you next time.